Hello, my name is Micah, and I want to welcome you to my channel. If you're new here, hi. And if you're returning, thanks for coming back. These are my new nail tips that just came in the mail. I'm so excited. I have been in love with Apres Gel X nails for a while, and I got them this time in the natural form. I have been buying them in the sculpted, as my fingernails are actually naturally apexed. However, these natural nails are good for people who have flatter nail beds, that may not have an arch or an apex to their nails. This actually has a less gap in between your nail bed and the nail tip itself. So if you are someone who has flatter, wider nail beds, you might want to consider purchasing some natural nail tips if you're going to go with Apres. So I was showing you that I am using an e-file, and I'm going to use that e-file from iGel Beauty, along with this dust collector from iGel Beauty as well, to go ahead and prep my nail tips. I, in this video, took the time to actually cut out all of it. I'm only giving you a few nails to look and see how I actually prep them. This is me going in and just taking off that shine. I am using the e-file at around 4,000 RPMs. I could have done 3, but the tip or the drill bit decides to kind of skip a lot when it's at that level. So 4 seemed to be the perfect number. My son is laying on me, and you're going to hear him coo or sigh while I am recording over this video, as it is his bedtime. So I tend to only be able to edit and do voiceovers when he is fast asleep. Taking a lint-free wipe as usual with my alcohol, which I do explain in my previous videos. It is important that you use 70% or higher alcohol, and I am just wiping off the excess dust from where I just got done prepping and taking off that shine. And I do that for all 10 nails. So I base coated these nails, and I never base coat nails from Apres or Gel X nails in general. Once you take off that shiny layer, there's no need for you to base coat. You can go right in with your color. However, I did do that today, just trying it out to see if it was going to make a difference, if I liked it, and I didn't. So I won't be doing it again. That pesky lint from those wonderful quote-unquote lint-free wipes. I cannot wait to be done with that box. However, the base coat, like I said, it's unnecessary, but you do you. If you feel like it gives you an extra layer of protection, have at it. I just wanted to make sure that you do understand and know if you're going to do these at home for yourself, or if you're starting a press-on nail business. Specifically with Apres Gel X nails, there is no need for a base coat. Okay, I'm going in with this Beatles color, and it is an orangey yellow. It is so beautiful and very pigmented. I got one of their fall boxes. I cannot remember the actual box number or name. However, it's one of their newer ones on Amazon. And I am not opposed to this color. I just think that the color itself is so pigmented, unfortunately, that I did have it cause me some problems. I had everything that could possibly go wrong with this set go wrong, and it took me literally hours to do this set. As a new mom, it's hard sometimes to balance between a crying baby who wants to be in my arms constantly and needing to cook or needing to clean, do laundry, heck, dealing with the dogs, any of those things. It can be a little challenging at times. However, this was the first coat that I gave this set, and it is a stunning color. However, you're going to see where it causes me some issues. I like to call it bubbling is what it did after it cured. Usually when this happens with any nails that I do on clients, I do have to remove it by filing it off with an e-file. However, because these are press-on nails, I am not able to do that. So I'm going to show you how I fixed it, which simply I just ended up, unfortunately, 3 different times having to start over with those tips. There is no fixing it. So just continue watching. I'm going in with that second coat on this first hand, and everything went smoothly with both colors for the most part. The first set dried, it looked like very well, so I am just going in with the second coat now for both colors, and then I'm going to cure it and move on to the next hand. That's when you'll start to see everything kind of fizzle into chaos for me. Here I am putting on that second coat on that second hand, and if you look at that first finger next to the thumb that I'm painting right now, on the side you can already see a texture on that nail. That texture is the bubbling, and really what that means when I say bubbling is it's where the first the first layer of color that I put in the light did not actually cure completely or well under the light. So now that I am trying to apply a color on top of it, it is now, how do I put it, movable with the paint because it's still wet underneath. So it will be honestly like if you are painting a wall or a door, anything like that. What ends up happening is if it's still wet, you're going to basically pull the paint that's trying to dry with it, which then causes a texture that's not cute, pretty, or nice. So that's what ended up happening, and you're gonna notice it in a second. It's here when I realized there is no saving these tips. I kept this in the recording so that you could see just how wet underneath that layer it was. It peeled off in an actual layer. This can happen to a novice, or it can happen to a professional. It doesn't matter. These things happen. But because these are soft gel tips and not acrylic, they are not able to withstand a lot of abrasive buffing. So I am going to attempt to try to show you how to fix it. But this is when I realized there is no fixing it. It's too much buffing that is going to interfere with keeping that nail tip a decent thickness. So I went on ahead and started over. And I would suggest, if that happens to you, when you're trying to create a press-on nail business, or if you're trying to just create your own personal nail set, just start over. It's not the end of the world, and you're really not losing out on much money by starting over with more tips. That's what I would say. So the only issue is I did try to keep it thin, and I think I did a very good job. However, this pigment did it again, where I had to do it a third time. Third time's a charm. So they ended up turning out very balanced and even in the paint color that last time. So we're not going to worry about it any longer, but you're going to watch and see. I just went ahead and started over a couple times. This was that third time's a charm. As you can see, I just went on ahead and redid those last two nails. And it was much better because I didn't use a base coat on them either with this pigment. I think that was the best case scenario. So they turned out really nice and even, like I said. So here we are, 3 times later. It happens. I'm just really happy that I didn't have to make myself say, just finish it, just finish it. No, I actually enjoyed it. just going in with the third coat and final coat of color for both colors. And then it's time for the fun art. And then all of a sudden, the other set wanted to do it. So I had to remove them from the other hand that I was doing, the first hand. And, you know, these things happen. So just removing them and starting fresh. So here I've gone in, I've made sure that all the nails have 3 coats of color. And now I am going in with the matte top coat by Beetles. I started off with their base coat, and then their color, and now their matte top coat. Although this is not really a product review, I'm going to give myself the moment to tell you I'm not the biggest fan of this matte top coat. Unfortunately, the reason why is because the finish on it is not as matte as I would have liked it on both colors. It still held a slight, more of a satin finish than a matte finish. So that is my personal opinion. And you can tell me in the comments below if you also see what I see. The picture quality is pretty accurate. So, for me personally, I usually use a different brand for my matte, but I wanted to try the entire set with the same brand, which was Beetles in this case. And again, I like their product. I just wasn't a big fan of their matte top coat. And now I am going in with my blooming gel by LB. I love this blooming gel. I used it in my last video, and now I'm using it again in this video. This time I'm using it to create marbling. And again, you want to use a very thin layer. You don't need it super thin, but you do want a thin layer. You don't want it too thick. And when you're applying your colors, whether it's a mix of colors, one color, two colors, you want to make sure that you are not heavily putting that color in that layer of blooming gel. You don't want to put too much force behind layering. You also want to use a flatter brush, something that's going to be able to pick up the color, but also be able to lay the color without really spreading it by spreading the bristles. You're using the brush as more of a handle of a scoop of color, and then allowing that color to spread into that layer of blooming gel. I hope that makes sense. I'm pretty sure it does, but I hope that makes sense. Tell me in the comments. I will gladly try to give you a more clear explanation if it's necessary. And I am using my little finger palette to lay out my colors so that I can create the marbling. And now I'm gonna go in and scoop up the colors and then lay them, and we'll see what happens. This is a prime example of what I mean. This is floating that color onto the nail, on top of that blooming gel that creates the blooming effect. And as you can see, I am basically not laying it flat. I am going in a swirl or swiveling kind of motion, and that's going to help with that color coming out marbled. I'm going in with another coat of matte to matte them all. And then the marbled nails, I actually do go in a second time over those nails to make sure that they are wonderfully matted. Bless you, baby. Somebody just woke up, hopefully for just a second. Now I have marbled and I have matted all of the nails. Now I'm going in with some wonderful rhinestone work. I think I told you all everything that could go wrong while I was trying to do this set went wrong. I had paused the recording at one point thinking that I was coming right back to it. I think I stopped because either somebody was at my door or my son needed me for a second, and it ended up turning into something way longer and lengthy. As you can see, I no longer have my gloves on, so that tells you something. And then on top of that, the recording started back up after I'd already placed the rhinestones on the pinky. So that happened. going in with these rhinestones. I chose a metal gold rhinestone and also AB mix, which are more of your iridescent rhinestones. All of these you can find on Amazon. However, these particular rhinestones I actually got from Profiles Backstage about 3 or 4 years ago. The caviar beads, that set came from Amazon, which you can find all of these things on Amazon. Everything from the nail stand to the artwork that I use, everything you can find right on Amazon. So the placement was random. I just decided on how I wanted to see the rhinestones placed on the nail, and I went from there. Remember that you are creating as an artist. There is no right or wrong way. I just try to find balance in how much I'm using of rhinestones, and that's what keeps me from having a whole handful of stones. Now, that's me. For you personally, you may think differently, and that is totally fine. You are the artist. It's your world. Create. Have fun with it. And I really had fun making this set. I was really excited for how it was turning out. So I do use a gem gel from Profiles Backstage. You can also find this gel though from Amazon. And it's just your normal Art Deco gem gel. It does cure under the light of an LED UV light. Before I actually place them in the light to be cured though, I do spray with nail glue dryer, and I believe it's called Hurry Up. It's white container with a pink logo that says Hurry Up on it, and it says in big bold letters nail glue dryer, and it's awesome. I spray the heck out of the nail, and then I place it in the light to be cured. When placing rhinestones at the base of a nail, you want to be sure to leave enough space for adhesion of the nail tip to the nail without it being irritated with the rhinestones being so close on the cuticle. So you want to leave enough space, just enough. You don't want it to look like it's placed in the middle of the nail, but enough space where you know when you're putting the nail on, it's not going to cause irritation to that cuticle area. I am placing caviar beads on either side of the rhinestones and in between each rhinestone. So if you can imagine, even though they're circular, I am making sure that each rhinestone has like a square around it, if you will. I apologize that I keep going out of camera view. Sometimes I have to remind myself that I am taking a video. Make sure that your hand is actually in screenshot. So I also wanted to express that those caviar beads are going on either side, but they're in the gel that I laid down. If by chance you didn't lay enough gel down, you will have to actually add more so that they will be secured in that gel. Otherwise, you run the risk of those caviar beads being the very first thing to go bye-bye. And now I'm going in with a little alcohol on a cleanup brush, which is actually a concealer brush from ELF. But I just clean up just enough so that I don't have major goopy solidified gem gel. But I'm making sure that everything is still secure. And then I'm going in with another coat of matte top coat so that I can even further secure all of my gems and stones. Like I said earlier, I am not a big fan of this matte top coat, which is okay. However, I think now you can see what I mean when I say it has more of a satin finish than a matte finish. However, I think the set turned out absolutely stunning. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope it was educational and helpful. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you next time.